This one's gonna be a little bit more of a speculative stretch than usual, but hey, it was only a matter of time before random headcanons was gonna get a little out there. Let's talk apples and cutie marks. In my last video, I asked for headcanons about why the members of the apple family are always the last in their class to get their cutie marks, and about 95% of the explanations I received followed the same train of thought. The idea was that because each member of the family has grown up on the farm and done apple-related tasks for their entire lives, those tasks seem normal to them, not like a special talent. Because they haven't had a moment of realization that they are skilled at these tasks, they haven't realized their talent yet. Others have also noted the possibility of rebelliousness, citing the case of Applejack, who didn't want to live on the old farm and tried her luck in the city. It was only after realizing that she missed her home that she got her mark, at least according to her. Some also speculated that the apple family are just genetically late bloomers, with the entire concept of Call of the Cutie being a metaphor for puberty, which I think Apple Bloom's name makes rather obvious. I like this idea from a literary theory standpoint, but from the standpoint of figuring out the show's canon, it isn't all that helpful, so let's talk about another idea. What's particularly strange about Applejack's cutie mark story is that it's completely unique from almost all the others. Everyone else so far has had a moment of realization directly related to figuring out their talent. Where the stories differ is that some of the ponies were already working towards the talent that they eventually found, whereas others discovered it all at once. And this gave me an idea. Maybe the acquisition of a cutie mark really requires two things. One is the realization of what a pony wants to do, and the other is proving that they can do it. After all, Twilight Sparkle had already set her heart on learning magic, but it was only when her full potential became apparent that she got her mark. The same goes for Rainbow Dash, who was already in love with speed but pulled off a feat of badassery to prove herself. Rarity was already a fashionista but realized her talent when she found her creative voice in the form of gems. These weren't moments of realization, but moments of proving themselves. Pinkie Pie and Fluttershy both have moments of realization and moments of proving themselves right in order. Pinkie Pie learns about fun and then proves that she can bring it. Fluttershy witnesses scared animals and then finds out that she can soothe them. And while we're at it, even Twist, whom I can't believe I'm acknowledging, already knew that she loved making sweets. It was only after making what I guess were some really fucking good pepper sticks that she got her mark. So this just leaves Applejack. If all it took for her was a moment of realization, then that must mean that she'd already proven herself beforehand. This would put her in the same boat that many think the Cutie Mark Crusaders are in, where each of them has an obvious talent but hasn't realized it yet. But what if the truth is that Applejack was like some kind of savant? Like, what if she was just really unnaturally good at apple farming before her realization? The reason I bring this up is that if we consider the other ponies who were or are late bloomers, their talents can be kind of difficult. Big Macintosh's talent seems to revolve around, well, being big. He bucks trees, carries heavy carts, and is generally known for being the big guy. So if his talent revolves around being big, then maybe he didn't have his mark yet because he wasn't big enough. He couldn't prove himself as a kid because being a kid was a poor circumstance for his talent. As for Granny Smith, it's hard to say. I would have loved it if she'd gotten her cutie mark from discovering the Zap Apples in Family Appreciation Day, which would mean that her talent couldn't emerge until she found out about them. But unfortunately, I think it was too late to retcon her cutie mark into dealing with this. It would have been a great idea, though. So maybe only Big Macintosh was a late bloomer due to physical limitations. I wouldn't be surprised if the same turns out to be true of Scootaloo. I'd love to see something like this happen as a plot point, where a character doesn't find their talent until undergoing some kind of major physical or locational change, or reaching an appropriate age for their talent. I mean, after all, you know, somewhere out there's gotta be a prostitute pony, and I think we'd all like to believe he was a little older when he got his mark.